this Sunday is the anniversary of 9/11, which is a huge date and symbol, not only for America, but in the world. When the two planes crashed into the World Trade Center, it was an attack not just on the United States, but on the world. Citizens of 90 different countries died when those planes struck the towers. Among them were large numbers from South Korea, from Germany, but there were also citizens of the People's Republic of China, of Taiwan, Mexico, India. A horrible time. It was an attack on the whole world, and the world has changed because of that. Almost 2,000 people died on that day. Around 2,600 in and around the World Trade Center, those twin towers. 246 on the 4 planes that were hijacked. 125 died in the Pentagon. Less than half of those were U.S. military. Ages of people who died, from age 2 to 82. Lieutenant Colonel Burchett was actually in the Pentagon the day that it was hit by, I think it was an American Airlines Flight 77. Thank you for being here with us today and sharing what you have brought to us to help us remember this day, and to do so with sobriety and prayers to God.
Mom, it's like maybe it was just an explosion or something. Yeah. Did you hear what I said about it? Maybe not being a bomb? Because, like, it's up high, Mom. It's unbelievable. It woke us up. We're videotaping it. Yeah. I have no clue what it is. There's this black smoke. And what looks like paper, but unbelievable. You just watch the news, dude. It's all over. It's on the news.
A few moments ago, something literally a plane crashed into the tower of the World Trade Center.
Oh my God.
I just saw flames inside. You can see the smoke coming out of the tower. We
Unbelievable.
have no idea what it was. It was a tremendous boom.
Oh my God, don't be a person. Where? Oh my God. Where? That right there? What are those big heavy things falling at a rate that a piece of paper would not fall? Oh my God! No way. Like that, Caroline, do you see that? They don't you see the thing?
Yeah, I see it. I mean, who's to say it's not like a chair? Regardless, it's gonna be so dangerous at that base. Obviously.
inside of that environment. knew that a plane had struck the World Trade Center. The office I worked in had some 75 people. There was always a TV on, so I was aware of that. But a plane had also struck the World Trade Center some 3 years before, clipped it because it was flying in. No big deal. I go back to my job. Shortly thereafter, the Pentagon rocks significantly. Again, no big deal, because number one, the Pentagon was under renovation, so contractors were working. They had started a fire 3 weeks before, and we had a fire drill. And also, the Pentagon was in the flight path at that time of National Airport. We get the word to evacuate. No one in our office has quite put together yet that you've got 3 coordinated attacks. This is an accident. So we get out in the hallway, smoke all over the place. Then the rumors start that a plane has struck the Pentagon. No big deal. We're in the flight path. When we get outside to our rendezvous point where we're trying to check who's there and who's not there, just like the teachers do here with a fire drill, well, we're trying to account for 75 people. People going to meetings, people having doctor's appointments, people who didn't show up that morning, so it's utter chaos out there trying to get all this done. Then all of a sudden the rumors start that this may not have been an accident, this may have been done on purpose. No one can really believe it because America has not been struck before. So in the midst of all of this, all of a sudden, the general officer that I worked for said, oh, by the way, we have got to move further away because there's now a 4th plane that is inbound. So people are scrambling all over the place, trying to take count of who's there and who's not there. And then you got this 4th plane. That's the one that crashed in Pennsylvania. No one is sure where it was headed, but we think it might have been Congress or the White House. Nobody knows. So we're out there at our rendezvous point. We've now gotten our second rendezvous point. We've now got total accountability for everyone, but we can't contact our parents or our loved ones. The cell phone that I'm sure everybody in this room has, if you tried to use your cell phone, it was totally useless because the satellites were overpowered and had been shut down. My mother had called the president of my company 3 times. She called the boss. So we finally are released to go back to wherever we want to go. Oh, by the way, you can't do it. There are some 500,000 people in the Washington, D.C. area. All 500,000 people are trying to get on the road. The buses are jammed. The taxi cabs are jammed. The subway, which used to run up under the Pentagon, no longer can run up under the Pentagon. It has to run an abbreviated route. So you've got to walk 6 blocks either direction to try to get on the subway. And oh, by the way, they're jammed too. So from 9:30 on that Tuesday morning until about 2:30 in the afternoon, no one knew where I was other than the people in my office. So I finally get on the subway, or the Metro it's called, and as we go by National Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world, there are no planes, there are no buses, there are no taxi cabs, there's nothing at National Airport. It's a ghost yard. We find out later that all planes had been diverted out of Washington and told to land immediately or risk being shot down. But it was worse than driving by or seeing a brand-new airport, because at least with a brand-new airport, there's people and there's trucks and cars. There's nothing at National Airport. So I get to my office and, needless to say, the president of the company came to me and said, "Oh, by the way, before you make a single phone call, you must call your mother." I have heard from her 3 times, and she has said she's gonna call back every hour on the hour until you call her. I said, "Yes, sir." So I called my mother. I did not know the devastation that had taken place in New York City until I got home that night. The Pentagon was bad. New York City was worse, much worse. While we only lost 189 people all total in the Pentagon, almost 3,000 were lost in New York City. But one of the things to keep in your mind, you can see people that are dead. You can see people that are maimed or scars or whatever else. What you can't see is the number of people that have been affected mentally, me being one of them, mentally, by what happened on 9/11. Almost died. If I had been in my old office, the nose of the plane would have literally been up under my desk. We had changed offices 6 weeks before. That's how close it was. We get back into another office on Tuesday, they get us back. It's been a week now, just realize it's been a week. We get in our new offices and we're semi-quasi-operational. And on that Thursday, for whatever reason, they called a fire drill. Unannounced fire drill. You had people that were literally breaking down. They thought they were going to relive the same experiences all over again. We had people in my office who did not go back to work. They refused to take a job in the Pentagon, ever. To go back into the Pentagon, you had to literally wear chemical suits and get dressed up top to bottom, because nobody knew if there was anything in there that might affect us. And oh, by the way, when you went in under armed guard that took you in, pointed out what you could take, and escorted you back out. It's been 10 years since that's happened, and I can still remember it just as vividly as it was yesterday. And sometimes it bothers me. Ask my wife. Lost 3 friends, one of which was a young man. I say young man, he and I are about the same age, I guess. Left behind a wife and 2 kids. So to sit here today and say that nobody in this room is affected is not necessarily a true statement. You may not remember it, and you may be unaware of the changes that have occurred in your lives, but 9/11 has had a tremendous impact on each and every one of us, whether we remember the event or whether we don't. I shall remember that probably for the rest of my life. I saw some of y'all jump over here a while ago when the big boom occurred, and I saw some of you wince when you saw people jumping out the windows. Realize that those people had 1 of 2 choices. They could jump and maybe survive,